Hello again. Last week you saw us do an initial review of a SkillTRAN product called Job Browser Pro, which provides a simple and rapid way to conduct analysis of job numbers in the nation's economy while applying for different levels of vocational factors and limitations. But is that the only one? Not even close. Good morning. I'm Marilyn Stroud, CEO and owner of Stroud Vocational Expert Services. I'm here today to talk about being, becoming, and growing as a vocational expert for the Social Security Administration. Thanks for joining me. Today, we're going to show you another excerpt from the VELaunchpad. And this one is about one of SkillTRAN's other offerings, and that is the OccuBrowse. OccuBrowse as a software is not quite as intuitive from the basic introduction for all vocational experts. However, it does provide very useful data, and also when used in conjunction with pre-testimony planning and research, for instance interrogatories, which we will talk more about later. This OccuBrowse is definitely an amazing source of information, and I highly recommend using it and understanding all of the benefits that it provides. So, let's get into an excerpt from the lesson from the VELaunchpad.
This shows the first page when you log on to SkillTRAN.com, and it shows the yellow tab to the right where you log into the web-based service. Simply click on it, and this will be the next screen you see. Then the next screen passes up, so you get to browse. So once again, similar to Job Browser Pro, you enter your keyword or the DOT code. In this instance, once again, we're going to use the cashier as our example to work on. As you notice over to the right, you can browse by occupational groups, or to the left, of course, you can put the title, the code, or keywords in and do a search. So at this point, I'm going to type in the word cashier, and then I'm going to pull up several cashiers. What I find is rather interesting in OccuBrowse, and there's only 22 matches versus, I believe it was 45 in the Job Browser Pro that pulled up earlier. So this is a little different. Going on to the job description, this provides the DOT code, cashier checker, it's the same one, and provides, of course, your job description. Then the next slide shows the area where we're going to do a little search on traits. So first we're going to start with the SVP. So in this instance, this just shows what comes up the first time. Now notice cashier, we've typed in cashier, we haven't adjusted any of the skill levels, anything else, and we're seeing 12,761 possible occupations. So now we're going to start narrowing this down by adding limitations. In this area, we've limited to light work, and everything else is pretty well the same. But notice over here, just by limiting to light work at a maximum amount, as you note on the strength, maximum is light and minimum is sedentary, this is already lowered down the estimate, occupational estimate, at a little over 1,700. Now let's add a few more in. At this point, I went into the different environmental type issues and work environment. So in noise level, I adjusted it to a moderate, and everything else is pretty well at frequent, not present, or occasional. And at this point, it lowered the amount of occupations down to 679.
So there you have it, just like last week. You got to see an excerpt from the VELaunchpad. This is the actual courseware that you would get if you registered right now. And if you don't want to wait for the next lesson, you can actually come on your timeline right now and learn things your way right now. Check us out at stroudve.talentlms.com or in the link in the episode notes. Remember, we will be here every week, so don't miss it. Subscribe now, hit the bell for notifications. Let's start learning together.